Well, they say that you're a fool. You believe in magic. I'm Paranormal Pete, and I'm on a journey to seek answers to the questions that have crossed all of our minds. What happens to us when we die? Is there an afterlife? I'm a regular guy who discovered the gift of psychic mediumship in my 30s. My passion for history and the unknown have put me right here, right now. My mantra for anything paranormal is, we don't know much and anything is possible. Join me as we find our way through the stories, evidence, and experiences of the paranormal and beyond in search of answers, even if that leads to more questions. Are you with me? Boo. Welcome to the Paranormal Pete Show. Sorry, I'm having some technical issues here. Welcome to the show. We're on the Sacred Spiral Network, and I'm really excited tonight to bring on a very special guest, William Becker, metaphysical insights, and we'll have some fun stuff to talk about. And I think we'll also be doing readings as time allows. And so join the conversation. I've got people checking in already. Naomi, welcome to the show. Check in wherever you're at. If you're wherever you're watching from, whether it be YouTube or on the other socials, but say hey, join the conversation. We'll be able to answer questions. And yeah, we got a lot to go over tonight, but I've got a couple upcoming events I always like to talk about at the beginning of the show. Always have lots of different things going on. And so I've got a special investigation this Saturday here in Port Gamble. If you don't know, I do tours and investigations. And so that one's sold out for this weekend, which is really cool. We always get pretty good activity in the wintertime here in Port Gamble. And then next month is a pretty busy month. I've got a tour on March 6th. So if you're in the Puget Sound area or you're going to be in the Seattle area, go to portgambleparanormal.com and sign up for one of my tours. So I got one on March 6th, and then I have another investigation March 7th. And then the weekend after, I'm going to be on it's a virtual event. It's a symposium, The Art of Investigation, put on by medium Kelly Coulter. And what do you know? Special guest tonight, William Becker, is also a part of that event. And I'm going to be doing a presentation on investigation, like evidence analysis, going through your data, ways to make it easier for yourself. So hopefully you'll catch that. William's going to be speaking. We'll be asking him about that here in a few minutes. But that's coming up March 14th and 15th. And if you go to my show page, facebook.com, Paranormal Pete Show, there's links there. And if you use the code Pete11 or William11, to get your tickets through one of those codes there. But that's coming up March 14th and 15th. Another Paranormal Pete Show good friend and former guest Jason Taylor is also going to be speaking on that one as well, along with Ross Allison. I saw is joining the lineup as well, and good friend of the Paranormal Pete Show. So that's artofinvestigation.org if you want to go straight to the website, artofinvestigation.org. So that's March 14th and 15th. And then, of course, I got the Oregon Ghost Conference coming up. I don't know how many years I've been going there, but it's at least 12, I think. Maybe 13 this year. That's going to be March 27th through the 29th in Seaside, Oregon. And all around great conference. You get to meet so many good people in the field of the paranormal. Lots of special events and vendors. I'll be a vendor there, so stop by and say hi if you're coming to the Oregon Ghost Conference. If you're interested in checking it out, it's OregonGhostConference.com. And, of course, they're on the socials as well, but just type in Oregon Ghost Conference and you'll find it there. That's coming up March 27th through the 29th. So yeah, lots coming up. There's a whole lot of activity going on, and I'm right in the middle of it. Seems like I always am. Yeah, but excited. It's going to be a busy month, but a fun month. And again, if you want to find out info on taking a tour with me or doing a special investigation, go to portgambleparanormal.com. You can also book personal readings through there as well. Yeah, well, without further ado, I want to bring on my special guest because we've got a lot to talk about, I think. But first, let's give some shout outs here. So many people checking in. Thank you guys so much. Jason, there he is. What's up, Jason? Thanks for watching. And Janessa says hi, Pete and William. Hey to Michelle. Hey, thanks for watching. And Brian, why hello to you, sir. Carolyn checking in. Thanks for watching. And we have Melissa from Pittsburgh. All right, on the East Coast. Thanks for staying up late. Thanks for watching with us. And hi from James and Joanne Clarkson in Port Townsend. Also great friends of the show here. And James, I got to get a hold of you, but got to have you on the show soon. But welcome to James and Joanne for watching. And we've got Alan Rentero. Hi, mister. Looking forward to hearing from you and William. Thank you very much. Crystal, oh my gosh, you guys are very active tonight. Crystal's saying hello. And thank you guys so much. Brian's also replying saying, hey, James. Here's another person here, Aquarius Rising. We were at the last Ghost Investigation with you. Cool to see you live on YouTube. And Ashley and teenager Levi was talking with Robert in the basement for reference. Oh, well, thank you very much. Thanks for joining the show and checking it out. And Molly here checking in with a share link for the show if you want to share it. And gosh, gonna get through everybody here. Michelle, thanks for watching from Calgary. All right, Canadian friends checking in. And Charlotte, hello to you. Jennifer Rose, also host on here on the Sacred Spiral Network. Thanks for watching. And Tanya checking in. Melissa says it's way past your bedtime on the East Coast, but thanks for staying up. All right. Looking forward to seeing you at the Oregon Ghost Conference. Ashley, thank you guys so much for checking in. Nikita, okay, we're going to bring our guest on and talk for a little bit, and I'll put you on the list here for reading. So hang tight, okay? All right. And we got a reliable female plumber, a great name, coming in from the UK. Right on. And Tina, Rick saying hello. All right. Hey, Pete and William. Hope you're doing well and hope the little one's doing well. And Crystal's watching from Toronto. All right. So we got people from all over the place tonight. Thanks so much. Well, let me introduce my guest. Sorry, William. William, I've known for a super long time. He has degrees in history and administration. He's been doing psychic work for a really long time. And I'll say that William was so kind to me at the beginning of my journey into the paranormal and psychic work. And William was very approachable and wanting to help me and many of you out there who've had awakening experiences, or maybe you're going through that now. Can relate how overwhelming it can be and confusing, and what do I do? And I'm very lucky to have met William early on, like at the beginning of my psychic journey, because I probably wouldn't be here doing this today if it weren't for him, and kind of setting me on a good path and helping me along the way. He has paranormalinsights.net. We'll put the link up a little bit later. He is a published author. He's done work for clients all over the world. He's traveled all over the world. He has propensity for seeing into history. And when you visit an old site, he sees beyond what everyone else sees, and it's very interesting. He's blown my mind over the years, but let's give a big Paranormal Pete Show welcome to my good friend William Becker. Cue the
Well,
crowd.
thank you.
Thanks, William.
I thank you so much. I don't know how I'm going to live up to that introduction.
Well, now the pressure's on. And Alan Rentero commenting, William was the first gallery reading I ever attended. Such a lovely soul. His book is fantastic. Right
Oh,
on.
thank you so much.
Well, woo, there we go. There's the big audience reaction. Thanks, Brian.
Uh-huh.
Um, well, yeah, I'm glad to have you on. We've been doing these things for a long time. We've a whole bunch of times. We've done a lot of gallery readings together.
Mhm.
Um, just gotten to know each other over the years. So it's great to have you on the new iteration of the Paranormal Pete Show here on the Sacred Spiral Network. Um, well, for those who don't know you, and hang on, everybody, we'll get into doing some readings here in a little bit. But for those who don't know you and your services, give us a little bit about what you do for clients and how they can get a hold of you through your website.
Okay. I do a variety of things for people. I do readings with who's around, who wants to come through, the all of that, the pretty normal things.
Yeah.
I also do past and between life readings, and that's often tied together with anything from fears to interests to likes to dislikes in the current life. I'm working more with metaphysics and helping people on a deeper spiritual journey that includes mediumship and psychic, but goes beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And workshops and classes and such on anything from reading history to elementals to you name it. I love doing
Yeah.
all of it. And
Well,
and
you're
I
an
take the show on the
experiencer.
road, folks.
You're an
Yes,
experiencer.
yes. Um,
Sorry, something just fell over behind me. Things are always falling over when I'm doing the show. It's weird.
uh, from where you are, no, it's not weird. You've got more entities in that town than I do, and where I'm living. Um, and that's saying something. But yeah, so a little bit of everything. And my website, the developer is still putting things together, so it's a
Yeah.
little
It
difficult.
looks it looks different.
Yeah, and it's got a ways to go yet before it's fully functional. But William at Paranormal Insights or William at AOSJ.net. Both of them are .net. And I'll probably see the William at AOSJ.net
Okay. I'll put those
more
I'm not going to try
easily.
and type it in, but we'll put those up for
Yeah,
folks so they can check it out.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you've always done so many different things and been immersed in the metaphysical. Um, you know, what's the what's the thing that's kept you going in it? Wanting to experience and your drive to continue to explore, like what keeps you going.
The um the continuing to learn about my own soul, my own journey. I'm a history, not my bachelor's, and being able to explore those sites, being able to more fully explore and experience the richer world around us that goes beyond our five senses.
Okay.
And I honestly think the more connected we are to so much beyond, the more we are also living fully in this here.
Yeah. Yeah. It, I think that's a great answer. We're all on our own quest. you
Right.
know, I think everybody watching, you're on your own quest in some way, and I think that's a great intent to have, is to want to continue to learn about yourself, which helps you learn about more things that external, everything else
Yeah.
around you. Yeah.
And I like to
Um,
help other people get on their journey.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
gives me a lot of satisfaction. And, I get thrilled when I see people click and get it,
Yeah.
or, get a piece. And, um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Well, and catch the spark.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So, there's a lot of people lining up for readings. Just hang on. um, So Michelle had a great question, and I know the answer, but I'm going to let you answer, William. It's also interesting. When did you realize that you had these amazing abilities? So tell
Um,
us when you like your first experiences where you kind of knew what's going on, and then
well,
I've got a question about hyper focus for you.
okay. Um, I realized not as long ago as I should have, that I was actually doing all this stuff since things that I thought were in my imagination or weird dreams, just different kinds of things. I remember from before I was in grade school,
Yeah,
and I'm realizing that so much of this was actually metaphysics and paranormal. And, when you're seeing trees blow that are 2 miles away in the different direction from your bedroom window, it's kind of, but but when you're
yeah,
4, you don't figure that out.
yeah.
But I saw my first ghost apparition, whatever, when I was 8, and it was another little boy who looked real. It was a bright, sunny day. There were a group of us out, and I found out it was a ghost when I asked the guy whose neighborhood we were in who it was and if he could play with us, and that guy said, "No, he's dead. He died of typhoid." And so it turns
Jeez.
out I hadn't thought about him. So this is I'm 8 at the time. In 2008, which was a whole lot
Well, go
so
ahead.
from 64 to or 65 to 2008, I
Okay.
I was on a tour, Rocky's tour. That was how I met Rocky. And he was talking about this little redhead boy and who it might be. And then before he said who they think he was, I said, no, it's not that one. I mean, to my head, I said, no, 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 that's this guy. And, it was all right there again. And because I remembered, I mean, I just didn't think about it much
Yeah.
because, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, life's going on, but it's great when you can have that retrospective experience of like, oh yes, I remember clearly at this when I was this,
yeah,
this old, that this, and it all comes back. I think that's so cool when you can have that experience.
yeah. And the whole deal, the whole reason why we're out and all the rest of it. And um, it was, it's interesting. And it wasn't scary. There's another little kid. He looked a little funny. It was a bright day. There
Yeah.
wasn't anything ominous or it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And in fact, I didn't even mention it to other people later. Of course, I learned really young not to talk about lots of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and I'm glad that you can talk about it now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. Well, so Niketa was asking how many on the list before her, and I'm just gonna say you're the first one. So hang on. I wanted to talk to you about hyper focus a little bit, more so for everyone watching and listening. Um, that was one of the first things that I had learned in one of your psychic development classes. About hyper focus, and rather than meditating or whatever, the everything that comes with what we think meditation is, to do hyper focus. And
Mhm.
you know um the world's just got so much going on right now. I think everybody can use a little bit of that. I know I can't meditate, or when I sit down and think, okay, I'm going to meditate, I can't do it. Try too hard. I try too hard. Try too hard. So for everyone out there, William and Todd had, one of the first things I learned in mediumship is a different way to get into the state of being present, a different way to get into the right space to be open to things. And William, tell us your kind of your general take of hyper focus, what it is.
That's a interesting question, and I just do things. I don't define them so much, and so it's hard to say. Basically, what I do is, well, like now, I'm looking down the hallway and allowing what's down there to come through here.
Okay.
Not quite here, but it's close, as I'm seeing this entity peek around the corner of the hall. And there's somebody down there often. And so I'm aware of other things, but my focus zeroes in down there.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing readings for people too, it's often I'm staring over his shoulder or whatever. I'm focusing on what I see around them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a ground and center is part of that, but it's just an instant. I just kind of go there
Yeah.
because I've been doing this for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And um, am I even slightly answering your question?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And no, it's interesting. I've kind of taken it maybe in a different direction, but similar path from what I've
Mhm.
learned from the process of
Okay.
hyperfocus.
Tell
There's
tell
Sonia, a
us.
good friend of the show, saying she calls it soft focus. Um, yeah. So originally what I had learned was, going to a place in your mind
Right.
and visualizing and just going with it. And wherever your brain's taking you, just go with it. Don't try
Okay.
and fight the thoughts. Go
Right.
with it.
And
And
that's
once you're
part of meditation for me.
right, it's just it's
Yeah.
a different label of meditation, I guess.
Hmm.
You're imagining a place, a beach, a trail, a city street, wherever it is, but then you're niching down in that space on all the different details that you can see, that you can hear, that you can smell, that you can feel. If are you walking barefoot? What does that feel like? All that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's getting the location and then niching down on everything in that location, and before you know it, you're in this place of being present and you're open. And so I hope people out there listening try it out. If you're feeling chaotic and there's just too much going on all the time, take 5 minutes a day. If you're a night owl, do it at night before you go to bed. If you're a morning person, do it when you get up. But where focus on a place in your mind, a location, figure out what that is wherever your brain keeps taking you, and then start focusing on the details. Is it daytime? Is it nighttime? Is it raining? Is it dry? Um, and so niche down on all the details, and before you know it, all the clutter in your mind is kind of gone away, and you're open to receive good energy. You're open to receive messages. To connect to things on a deeper level. And so I hope everybody tries that. And we're kind of blowing through it here, but
Yeah. I mean,
um,
these are things that we've developed in our own ways and stuff over a period of time.
yeah,
And it takes practice, everybody. And you don't you don't become experts really.
yeah,
You just get better and you form your own practice, which
yeah,
will shift and change over time.
It does. Yeah, it really does. Well, I want to take a few minutes here, William, if we can, and see if we can squeeze in a couple of quick readings here.
Sure.
And Niketa is up first, and she says that her mother passed away, um, and that on July 3rd. Sorry about the passing. She was a psychic medium light worker, and she was about angels. That's awesome. So I'm wondering if you feel you have those gifts as well. Um, oh, she showed me about this kind of stuff. She always had visions and kind of learned from her because of her gifts. Okay, well, you answered my question there. Um, so if there's a specific question that you're fine asking in a comment section here, you can ask the question. I'm wondering if there's something to do with poinsettia flowers in her. If that makes sense to you, let me know or comment. I'm getting. Yeah, I'm getting poinsettia flowers and like was for Niketa. If you can comment. Oops. I'm trying to work the ones and twos here all at the same time.
And it
um,
seems.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
go ahead.
William. No, you
No,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna. I'm seeing the larger poinsettia bushes too, like where they would grow in California or some places where you can plant these big and they get huge outside and um,
Yeah.
from the climate. And a person that's very sunny and light, um, maybe a lot of air. I don't usually do astrology stuff much, but just somebody that's more ethereal, maybe than practical. And that's not in a bad way, but just is in a
Hmm.
the balance she had. Um,
And if any of that makes sense to Niketa, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly, my apologies if not. If any of the things we're talking about sounds like it's for somebody else and you recognize that, go ahead and comment.
yeah.
I was going to add along with these, I just keep seeing poinsettia flowers. Christmas was maybe like a really special time.
I was going to
Um,
say that too. I think you're
yeah,
right.
I'm seeing, like white flowers and stuff as well. Um,
Like white poinsettias.
that and the red ones.
Yep.
I
And
had something
little
and then
silver
I had
balls.
something and it went away. Darn
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry. I probably
No, it wasn't
interrupted you,
you.
but
No, you go ahead. I'm gonna try and get it back here.
and little silver ball type things, very small, it looks like. Um, on them around, but other things, I just see them associated and kind of popping around.
Yeah. Another thing I get is I feel like I'm being pointed to Orion's belt. Um, you know, talking about the stars a lot. Niketa, think this is for you here. Um, with your mom, like, did you guys talk about the constellation of Orion a lot? Like, I keep getting pointed to Orion's belt. Um, Maybe that, if that was like a time that you guys always shared together or you really enjoyed, maybe this is showing me like a connecting time. Specifically Orion's belt. And um, the message is to be whatever you're waiting on or you've been like pushing for, like you got to wait a little bit longer, um, a little bit more patience, and then the right path is revealed. I know that sounds in general, but I don't know what that is in reference to, if it's like a job or, something you've been really waiting for or pushing for. Like I just keep getting that you're going to be needing to wait a little bit longer. Um, and okay, McKenna,
And the
thanks.
weird
I
what?
wasn't sure if you were still there. Says, yeah, yes, we always talked about things we seen in the sky, like weird lights. Okay, well,
Was
I don't know what Orion's constellation means to you, but I kept seeing that, like I was getting pointed to that towards the belt. Um, and William here,
okay,
so she's also saying nieces and nephews always called her sunshine.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if you can let me know about uh, the message of like whatever it is you've been pushing for or really waiting to like happen or come through. Like you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. I hope that makes sense to you.
I
Um,
feel like a little more healing is part of that.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just the sense of like, nope, nope, whatever it is, you got to wait a little bit longer there. I hope that makes sense. Another guest here, Kevin saying his dad lived in the night sky, and my wife pointed out Orion's belt out in the sky yesterday. Um, okay, interesting. Could be getting things for multiple people.
Where it
Um,
happens.
and okay, hang on, Kevin. Um, McKenna, I want to know if she's around me. And yeah, I know what you mean. Um, well, I mean, I feel like it was easy, kind of easy to pick up on that energy. So I would say,
Right.
and probably her understanding or experience with energy and stuff in life has helped her be able to travel and possibly come through easier. So,
I
I mean,
see her as
I've,
like a golden light around her, around you.
yeah. Um, she maybe something about she used to like pull your left ear. If you get those sensations on your left ear, I think she's telling me that's a sign. Do you feel, did she, when you were young, did she play with your left ear a lot or like pull it or something? That's what I'm getting. Um, that should
But
tell
yeah,
you
she
that
is
she's around.
around with, yeah, with that gold and then that pulling of the ear. Yeah, but she is around.
Yeah. And we all have connections like that. And you may just not feel it, but they're always there.
Mm.
Some piece of them, of our loved ones, are always there. They may be more in one place than another because they're trying to help somebody else, but there's always a piece with them. Um, Kevin had mentioned the Orion's belt, and he also had asked earlier if there was a felt a pull. Um,
Feel like a male and like his dad is there behind him.
and Kevin, if there's anything specific you're wanting to ask, um, you know, go ahead and comment, and I'll get it on there.
Yeah.
Um, so I get something about Star Trek. Wasn't just a love of the stars and the night sky. It was the imagining going other places. So Kevin, was your dad like big into Star Trek? And I say that over Star Wars. I am a
And
fan of
something you
both, but
and something that you would share together.
yeah. Let us know, Kevin, if that makes sense to you. Um, I'm getting a lot of like Land of the Lost. Um, like the Kevin says Star Wars more. Okay. I was thinking Star Trek. I was wanting to go that way. Uh is your dad, was he into Land of the Lost? Um, I keep getting drawn to like the lizard people in that, the things that are like moving slow, always moving slowly. Lizard people. You seen that, William? I'm sure
No,
you've had. Oh my god. Okay. The
I am.
slee stacks or whatever they're called. Um,
Oh,
Brian says Orion and Star Trek are big for his dad.
okay.
Um, um, Kevin, I'm gonna try and think and see if I can connect here. We got a couple of good questions. William, same. Um, okay, where'd that comment go? Okay. Um, Michelle, I didn't miss your comment. Try and get to you here. Crystal's got a question of if you lose a baby during only 6 weeks in pregnancy, can they go with other loved ones and do they grow? Do you have initial thoughts on that, William?
Mm, that's interesting. I'm not sure that the soul is there yet. I'm not I'm not sure that um on one hand I can see that I think what happens is we choose our what we're born into or what we're going to be and for the lessons we're learning. And that includes the people around us and the lessons they get from what we do and what happens with us. And the soul may or may not be in um, a 6 week old fetus, but it is in between with the group. And the people that we are with in this life and loved ones aren't necessarily part of our soul group. I mean, some of them would be, but not necessarily all of them. Does this make sense? Um,
Yeah,
and so I think it
yeah,
depends on the person. And sometimes I have seen them that die or were stillborn or shortly after, but much further along in the process than 6 weeks, more
yeah,
like 9 8 9 months or
yeah.
being born. So um
Loved ones, I think, are there for sure to
mhm,
help. On the other
mhm,
side, your spirit guides, guardian angels, however you want to label them, I think they're going to be there. I think there's so many different paths that this could go. Um, I don't have any direct experience that I can think of picking up on an energy like that. But I just know that when something is going to transition and cross over, your spirit guides are going to be there, and that energy becomes a part of that group. And so, your spirit group, your spirit guide group. And so I would say, um, I have, like I said, I haven't had that experience directly with a situation like this, but I believe that energy becomes a part of that soul group. And if it's the group that's associated with helping you, that energy is always going to be there. Growing, I don't know. I think that could be, there's a lot of different paths that could take.
mhm,
Um, sure, I think energy can evolve. You can't destroy it, it can just change. And so in that sense, sure, I think, a new energy, a new light can change over time. Um, but I think in our life, in our soul, that there's an inherent wisdom that we're born with. There's an inherent wisdom that starts within us from the very beginning, before we even start. And so even though, um, baby may have been only 6 weeks, there's still an inherent built in, I think, wisdom in our energy, in our light. And so, that could grow and, become part of what helps protect you. And so I hope that makes sense, um, in some way. Um, so let's see what she said here. Thank you for responding. She says, my mom, yes, my mom passed, and then I found out I was pregnant and lost, so wasn't sure. My mom and I were close. Well, I'm sorry for your losses, but you've always got help on the other side. And if your mom has passed and you guys were close, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but she's with you. There's no way she's going to let you go. So hang in there. Look for signs. And, I would say, like, since I started doing mediumship and stuff, my whole outlook on like what happens to us changed. And, so I think about things differently. And so, um, she says, I feel peace with that. Yeah, exactly. You
Good.
should, you know, um, time is, only what we think it is or not or whatever. And so, there's always going to be a connection. And someday we meet our loved ones, that have passed on. And to them, it might be 5 minutes. To us, it's a lifetime. And
Mhm.
so, like, just know that, it'll be worth it when you get to see them again. Um, and you can just try and live how you think they would want you to live. Um, so thanks for that. I want to get back to Michelle. Um, okay, we did get clarification. It is a slee stack. So Kevin, there you go. I don't know if your dad was into Land of the Lost. Jason Taylor was saying earlier, sounds like Twilight Zone. That's my life sometimes. And so I want to get to Michelle. Um,
It's only sometimes Twilight Zone?
yeah,
Man, you're lucky.
yeah.
Well, actually, I love it,
Crystal
but
says she sees a lot of 1111. There you go. Um, where did that? Okay. So Michelle, she's been commenting and waiting patiently. Um, so if my dad or husband stepped forward with a message for me, I'd really appreciate it. So we're going through a very difficult time in life right now. Um, I'm really drawn to the letter R for you, Michelle. Um, and J. R and J. I don't know if that's might not be together, but the letters R and J, if that makes sense to you, let us know. Um, so
and they are what I'm picking up too is this if you can keep your focus, they're with you, they're working together with you and hoping so what you can do through this difficult time is blossom more. This is a time where some of the things are being torn down so something else can grow and sprout. And I see just a beam of like light and like a palm tree um, coming out of the process. But part of it is letting go of the past and what is and allowing the new to come through. Does that make sense?
yeah, so she's been going through a series of unfortunate events that don't seem to stop. I I was picking up, Michelle. I believe this is for you. I was picking up a gentleman who keeps pointing at his watch. So, are you always late? I was getting a much more lighthearted sense of things. Are you always late to things? Um, who was it that was always stressed out about your timing and being at places? I feel like that's who I'm kind of connecting with, and it keeps getting pointed to a watch. Um, and in fact, there's also a Swiss Army pocket watch. Um,
Said I'm always late for everything.
yeah, okay, all right. Well, who would be getting after you um, the most for that? Your dad or your husband? But I'm getting like also like um, a Swiss Army um, pocket watch. It's got like the Swiss Army cross, but it's like silver, color. I don't think it's silver, but okay, Michelle, your husband is always waiting for you. Okay, did he have a Swiss Army or like some of the Swiss cross, like a pocket watch? Maybe that was passed from his dad. I don't know. I just keep seeing this object. That's what you get with evidential mediumship. They got to show me all kinds of objects. um, big James Dean fan. I see a guy, he would wear his hair kind of slicked like James Dean. Does that make sense to you? Um,
You did carry one.
okay. It carried a pocket watch. Okay. I'm getting a guy like to have slick hair, or that's what he wanted to be, like James Dean. Like the classic images of James Dean in his jacket. That's kind of what I see. Um, Maybe he's a huge fan of that. Does that make sense for you, Michelle? Um, Amy, thanks for your comment. We'll try and get there. Just hang on.
Yeah, I noticed there's a lot of people, more people than planned.
Yeah, we might go just a minute late here. Okay, she says her dad wore his hair like that. Did your dad have a
Okay.
pocket watch? Um, is he a smoker? Also, did he smoke cigarettes? Your dad? I also see. Okay, dad wore a leather jacket until the day he passed, and his hair was always slicked back. And he was a smoker. Okay, so I think I'm picking up on him. They have something for. It's either the Anaheim Angels or like the Oakland A's. I keep seeing like a sports logo, an A. Did he wear a hat like that or have a jacket like that? Or um, I don't know if that makes sense for you. It could be for somebody else here, but um, so his message is you don't always have to take the hard way. Um, like everything always seems really hard for you. So he's like, you don't always have to do that. You do it to kind of prove to yourself that you can do it, to prove that you can get through anything. But he's saying sometimes listen to others, and there's an easier way sometimes, but you just have to listen for it. So does that make sense for you, Michelle? That message? To not always take the hard way through something just to prove something.
Mm.
Um, and some people said he looked like James Dean. That's okay. I hope that message means something for you. Of I think he's wanting to listen to others more, to there's easier ways to do things, and so just be open to other people's ideas. And I'm betting that he worked really hard, or things were always he was always against the grain in life, I think is what he felt like he was always up against him versus the world sort of thing. um and so his message to you, Michelle, is to be open to listening for easier ways to do things in and to get from point A to point B exactly like that, point A to point B, instead of going A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all over the place to get to point B. And so be open to that. I hope that makes sense. She says, "Oh, I always try, but I don't feel like I can do things right." That's, I think you just have to kind of like listen and try and take a simpler approach to things. Don't overthink things. That's,
Yeah.
would be my advice, would be to try and not overcomplicate or overthink everything. Just try and like be more simple. Um, and be open to hearing other things. So she says makes perfect sense. Thank you, and I
Yeah.
hope that helps. Like, just take time, to be open to other ways of doing things, and you don't always have to prove yourself. You don't always have to prove you can get things, you can get through things the tough way. Like, you don't need to always prove that, because maybe that was your dad's way. That's how he lived. Let
You
me know
can
if that.
break that cycle. It's part of it. And
Yeah,
you can also get assistance for tools to break those cycles.
yeah. I just had a huge hornet land right next to me on my
Oh, no.
desk. That's weird. I've
Oh,
had
yeah.
I'm having things fall over in here. I'm having bugs show up. Um, Craziness. Um, okay. Well, there's one more things. She's been suffering from a concussion. Well, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
hear that. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just really try and not overthink things. From a physical standpoint.
Mhm.
Um, try and keep things simple. And I hope that helps. And I'll just say, um, you know, there's so many people requesting readings right now. Hi, Christy. Thanks for watching. We definitely don't have enough time for everybody. We never do. It needs to be like a 5-hour show, a marathon, um, which, that would be fun, William.
Yes. Only
Maybe we
let's
could do
start it
that.
earlier.
Maybe, yeah, earlier in the day for sure. Um, and you can book private readings with us. If anybody wants to book a reading with me, just mention that you were on the show commenting, and I'll work something out here with you. But so we've got a few more minutes, and I want to leave a few minutes for William, for taking this time to be on the show. What do you have coming up, William, that you want to talk about? You've you know um, you've had your paranormalinsights.net for a long time, but now you've kind of, I think, expanded in a way into metaphysical insights. And that's also your show that you
Right.
do. So if you didn't know, William does a show, Metaphysical Insights. And I've been on there numerous times, and I hope you'll check
Mhm.
it out. But yeah, what do you have going on?
Well, this Saturday on my show, which is live on the Simply Spooky Network Facebook page, but then I put it up on my YouTube channel as well. I have Tom Muir from Orkney. He's a historian and a folklorist and a storyteller and an author, and he just got an MBE for his efforts to from the king to save or to preserve and um, keep demonstrating the history and the tales. He tells the
Okay.
stories beautifully. Um, we've got the conference coming up, and I'm working on putting together. I don't have all the tech yet, but some webinars trying to expand my outreach and webinars, particularly on some of the more metaphysical aspects or things that people don't have to be in a haunted location to do, which
That's
some of the
cool.
psychic work I do, you really need to have people someplace where there are entities to see, especially early. There are other
Yeah.
things I can teach along those lines that we don't need to, but so a lot of those are up and coming. I'd love to do some events, different kind of workshops, um, anywhere. It has to pencil financially, but I'm, I'd love to work with people to take the show further afield that way
Yeah.
as far as my own work.
Yeah.
I and the schedule isn't real full right now. Um,
Okay.
but which is okay.
Yeah.
It's a development process and rethinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope people will. I know your website's, under construction right now, but where can people find your books?
I've got my books now on the Barnes and Noble website,
Okay.
um, online sales. And um, oh shoot, I was going to have them here. Excuse me for half a
Yeah.
sec.
Well, thanks for sharing all that, and let's see
Yeah,
here. Oh,
this
well, that
was
was quick.
yeah, I was gonna have these right by me earlier and I forgot. Um, ADHD. But this is one I wrote. Devin Conroy Groves is a good friend. He's a professional photographer. And these are different locations around Oregon and Washington, including Port Gamble, with his photos and my readings of the locations and some of the history.
Hmm.
And this gives you can see the title um, and be able to find it on Barnes and Noble. And then this one I'm really proud of too. This one is set in Russia. My dad's side were Volga Germans. We German all the way through. I've done the DNA. There's not a drop of Slavic or Eastern European blood, but um, my some of my cousins and I we took a tour to the Volga German villages, some of them, including the one my grandparents immigrated from.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
this is history, my photography, and my readings and descriptions and such of what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me.
I love
And
hearing your descriptions of, you know, any of the locations that you go to look at,
mhm,
with a deeper eye. I always like how you describe it, and you make it understandable for anybody to like be able to kind of see and visualize what you're getting. So
thank
um
you. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah, I always just love how you describe everything. You're a good writer. And so, yeah, I hope everyone will check that out. Now, what is your presentation for the Art of Investigation Symposium coming up March 14th and 15th? It's an online event, folks, so you can be
Mhm.
anywhere and catch it. What is your presentation about?
Mine is mediumship with investigation, and some of it will be with how we can work with science and such, and it's particularly helping to identify where or what's going on with instruments or EVP sessions and such, but also reading those locations and finding the history and different things. So I'll have a mix. Some of it will be part
Good.
travelogue, and some of it will be otherwise. I'm putting together a whole new presentation, so
Right on.
uh, it should be
Well, it'll be
fun.
fun. and
Yeah.
Jason Say both at the event in March. You can catch Jason
Yes.
Taylor there also. He's doing presenting on the paranormal as well. And again, that is artofinvestigation.org. I'll put that up here.
Jason was on my show not long ago.
Yeah, he's got some great stories.
Hmm.
I seem to always get to meet great experiencers.
Well,
um,
well, I shouldn't say it. I was going to say you draw great people to you, but I was referring to Jason. I just realized that might be sounding too egotistical, but you draw some really good people to you.
oh, well, I know your
You
intent, William. So,
you draw some questionable ones with me, but
yeah, that's for sure.
yeah,
That's for sure. Oh man, my buddy Rob checking in here. Join listen as always, Pete. What's up, Rob? Um, that dude's an awesome drummer. Good guy.
oh good.
Um, well, gosh, we've come to the end of the show here, folks. Kiana, everybody messaging. Sorry, we just can't get to everybody. Please hang in there. Um, I'll just say that I did put a thing out in the comments if you want to try and book a reading with me or William. For me, mention that it's through my show. We'll get you set up. But for everyone out there that's experiencing loss, experiencing feeling lost, all that kind of stuff, just in my experience as a medium, I'm not going to speak for William here, but in my experience, our loved ones are always there in some way, in some form, and be open to feeling and hearing from them or getting a message. Be open to it. Um, have the intent of that it's for your highest and best good. And if that's your intention to get guidance, um, just hang in there. Pay attention to the little things in life that bring a positive thing to your day. Pay attention to that stuff. Be present each day, and these kind of things might help you. And I'm sorry we couldn't get to everybody just because of the time, but I plan on my next show. We'll be doing some readings also. Feel free to reach out. It's portgambleparanormal.com or paranormalinsights.net. Um, and get a hold of William. Keep an eye out. Follow us on the socials. Look up Para Insights on Facebook for William, and you can catch his
Yep.
show, Metaphysical Insights. It's on Saturdays. Um, it's always a fun conversation. Go ahead, William.
I've also got Paranormal Insights on Instagram.
There you go. Yeah, look William up. Ceremony PG, aka DD. Don't sell
Thank
yourself
you.
short, William. You're a great person. Oh, thanks for that. You are too. Everybody here,
He
thank you.
he sent that. They sent that to me, not you.
I know it was sent to you. I'm just saying
Oh,
that
okay.
she's
Yeah.
awesome too.
Yes, she is.
Um, but everybody watching, commenting, thank you so much. I'm very grateful for y'all to be here. Hang in there. You know, if you're really wanting to book a reading, get a hold of one of us and be happy to help you out. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody, but my next show is going to be on March 18th, and I may just do that one as a straight reading show. We'll see. William might appear again. We'll see.
Yeah.
But catch me next time on the Sacred Spiral Network, March 18th at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And William, any last things that you want to say before I close us out?
Mm, no, not much. Just, you know, be not only be open to the people and your loved ones, but I know a lot of times relationships with people can be contentious when people are living. It's part
Yep.
of the soul's journey and learning.
Yeah.
But often, or when people pass, their soul is healing and learning. Life beats us up a lot,
Yeah.
and we heal and we grow and we learn on the other side. So don't be afraid of receiving from somebody who wasn't here, but who has changed and is softened
Yeah.
there.
Yep. That's great. Thank you for that. Once again, I want to special thank everybody, and I close our show out every week. Close the show out with a wonderful quote from my beautiful wife Molly, um, who I call her my poet laureate. She just comes up with the coolest things. But this is for everybody out there, and wishing you all a wonderful next month here. The earth is heavy, but the universe is light. When met with stress or sorrow, or even overwhelming joy, know that today is the history of tomorrow. Accept it for what it is and move forward into the brightness of the next moment. Take all that with you guys over the next month. To you too, as well, William. I wish everyone good health, be present, and just be well to each other. Go ahead, William.
No, that was beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
yeah.
So totally unprofessional.
That's okay. Well, folks, take care. Step into the brightness of that next moment, and we'll see you next month. And be sure to tune in for all the other awesome shows here on the Sacred Spiral Network, sacredspiralnetwork.com. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Be well. Be well.